Dearest listeners and audience, you are requested to like and subscribe my channel and click the bell icon as well. Thank you. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, to whom we all have to turn back. Honorable listeners and respectable audience, you know that we have started a series of linguistic class, and the purpose of this class is that you could know about linguistics, syntax, semantics, sociolinguistics, and psycholinguistics. And the first chapter which we started, that was about how language was originated. And the previous lectures we reached a conclusion that language is a divine source. And I also shared with you two experiments and which was conducted by two kings. The first known is kings related to the Egyptian era, Pharaoh, and the next king was known as King James, the fourth king of Scotland. And their experiment, they deducted that if the newborn children, especially the babies, if the newborn babies, if they are kept in isolation without other children, so definitely they will utter the divine language. But other commentators, they say that these views are skeptical, because whenever the children, particularly the young children, they are kept in isolation, then they are not able to speak even a single language. So we did discuss that. Along with this, in another lecture we talk about that human beings, only they have the ability and the capacity to speak language on the surface of the earth. I'm talking about human beings. So human beings have the ability to speak. Why a human being have the ability to speak? Because human being have the physical features. So due to the physical features of human being, they have the ability to make sound, to produce sound, and to speak. And we talk about for example, the lips, which are muscular and strong. We talk about the face of human being, which have a muscular structure. Same is the case the vocal cords of human being, the pharynx and the larynx. Today we are going to talk about that human beings speak because of the complex part of the human brain, because of the complex structure of human brain. And this kind of lecture today which I'm presenting before you, it will be more interesting as compared to the previous lectures, though this lecture is also connected to the previous ones. Listeners and audience, according to the researchers and science, human being brain is responsible for thinking, for intuition. Human brains, they are responsible for imagination, even for creativity and creative knowledge. So our topic is just pertaining to language and linguistics. So we will try to only pick those information which is related with our topic. Human being brain control all those physical parts which are responsible for speech production. It means the human being brain, all those physical parts which are responsible. For example, we are speaking, our vocal cords, our larynx, pharynx, even our face. All these parts, they are responsible to participate and help the speaking, and the most controlling system which have control over them, that is actually our brain. So it is the organizing and controlling system of all those parts which are helping and participating in the production of speech and the production of speaking and sound. If we go to the research and the scientific view, human being brain has been divided into two parts. In linguistic, we call it right hemisphere and left hemisphere. And for your understanding and easiness, we call them right brain and left brain. If you see the structure of the human brain, the right hemisphere and left hemisphere, or the right brain and left brain, they are identical. They are looking to be same, but they have a lot of differences. And today in this lecture, we are going to discuss them one by one. And we will reach a conclusion that human being brain has a complex structure, and due to this structure, which we call controlling system of all parts, particularly those parts which are responsible for speaking, so human being brains control them and then help to speak and participate in speaking, reading, listening, etc. According to the linguists and the researcher in this field, they say that the human brain is lateralized. Human being brain is lateralized, mean that human beings brain have specific functions regarding controlling the organs. Those organs which are participating in speech production, and those activities particularly which are involved like thinking, pondering, contemplation, imagination, even daydreaming. So let me talk about, first of all, I'm going to talk about first of all right brain and left brain. That what is the function of right brain and what is the function of left brain, or what is the function of right hemisphere and left hemisphere, and how they help in speech production or in speaking. According to the research shows that right brain is responsible for visual and another knowledge, visual knowledge. This kind of brain is responsible for intuition, and it is also responsible for visualization. Same is the case. On the contrary of that, if we talk about the left brain or left hemisphere, it is responsible for analytical and verbal kind of source. It means it is responsible for analytical thinking and it is responsible for verbal knowledge. Then the right brain. And this left brain is also called digital brain, because it betters at reading, because it betters in writing, because it is better for computation. So now you know that brain is also responsible, human being brain is responsible for the production of speech, because human being brain has two parts, you may say, on the brain. So it means that there are two parts in the brain. One is called right hemisphere, another is called left hemisphere, and they are responsible for the speech production in those parts of human being which are involved in speaking. Human being brain is the major role which has control over them and which control all those parts which are participating in speech production. As I told you, that the right hemisphere is responsible for visualization, for intuition, and the left hemisphere, it is responsible and helps in reading, writing, and computation, specifically analytical and verbal, and giving order. Now, a previous research has taken place, and according to that research, the research of Spiri dated research, it suggested the right brain helps people with imagination, similarly holistic thinking, in intuition, arts, rhythm, nonverbal cues, feelings and visualization, and daydreaming. On the other hand, according to Speary's data research, the left brain helps you with logic, sequencing, linear thinking, mathematics, facts, and thinking in words. So, listeners and audience, I'm not going with too much detail, but once again, I'm going to make it short. That today we talk about that human being brain has a complex structure, and due to the human being brain complex structure, human being has the ability and the capacity to speak and to make and produce different sounds. And due to this, so many research has have been taken place. As today I talk about the Sperry research, that human beings brain, they have the ability to think and ponder, they have the ability of imagination, they have the ability to think, and they also have the ability about daydreaming. So due to all these characteristics of human being, a human being has the ability to speak. Similarly, I talk about that human beings, they have the ability to speak because the brain, they have control over those parts which are responsible for speaking.